Arsenal, meanwhile, loving life.
Yeah.
You've got a makeshift back four pretty much, but you go in, the squad is so full of confidence. They didn't look like losing today really at all, did they?
Well, I think the key for Arsenal, when Mosquera went off injured, he puts on Timber at right back, so Ben White then goes from right back to centre half, and you don't even notice the join. But they're missing Saliba, they're missing Gabriel. They've got so much depth. I think they lack a bit of X factor, a bit of star quality in terms of what Chelsea have got, that explosiveness. But they're rock solid, and at every position, apart from maybe Odegaard in midfield, they've got cover for, and that's why the 5 points at the top of the league and looking really strong.
And you've got Marina coming in, making an impact.
They finally got their number 9, didn't they? I mean, I bet Gyökeres was sitting thinking, I wish I was getting some of those crosses. I mean, he did get one at the end against Chelsea that Timber took off his head.
Yeah.
But he does do a great job. He is against Chelsea in the first half. Nobody gave the ball away, I think, for Arsenal more than Moreno. And then he pops up with important goals, and he did again tonight. He's done a great job for Mikel Arteta. Look, it's theirs to lose, isn't it? Even this early in the season, it's theirs to lose.
Can we just take a look at the Premier League table again, just to remind, like Chelsea, after the Chelsea game, we got, well, maybe they could push it, maybe they could do something. But it just feels like one result has completely changed that narrative.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, maybe we kind of got too excited about the performance Chelsea gave us against Arsenal, because we had been talking all season about how you can't really trust them. We know what they're capable of, but they don't always show it. And then they produce that performance against Arsenal, and you think, okay, they because of the problems that we know City have, that's why we've kind of not discarded them, but we know the problems. Okay, now we've got somebody who maybe we can hang our hat on, who can actually put some pressure on Arsenal, who can chase them, force them into doing things they maybe wouldn't do. But then they turn round, the manager picks the wrong team, the players that do play don't produce certainly the intensity was nowhere close to what it was against Arsenal. And so we're kind of back to where we started. Yeah, we're kind of picking and choosing who we think are the next title contenders. Manchester City, okay, sitting second, but we saw yesterday that vulnerability at the back. It's difficult to put an argument as to why consistently they're going to put a run together.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Villa. I mean, Villa maybe, if Villa beat Arsenal at the weekend, then maybe Villa are back in it, but they've never been in it in the first place. So you wouldn't trust Villa to be the challengers. And Man City, like you say, unreliable at the back. And if Erling Haaland gets injured or misses any period of time, then who scores the goals? So for me, Arsenal are the best team, and I can't think of a league season like this in many years whereby the second best team has been so far off the best team. There's just not a direct challenger. There's nobody there that you can... I mean, the league is so poor this year that Liverpool and Man United could both qualify for the Champions League, which is crazy considering how they've had the season so far.
I mean, we were sitting here, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, talking about City, and people were saying, well, you're talking about their defence, and their defensive record at the time wasn't that bad. And it wasn't. They were saying, well, but that's the last 3 or 4 games, that's gone out the window. It's completely gone out the window. I mean, they were hanging on against Leeds.
10. We lost 10 goals in the last 4 games.
So, I mean, that...
City could do business in January. A lot of clubs, I think, are looking at the window, but City they've got headroom to spend. They like Semenyo at Bournemouth. They like Elliot Anderson. I don't think...
Semenyo's not a defender.
Didn't they do a lot of business last January?
Yeah, and in the summer.
And where are they?
Where's Mamouche?
They're all sat in the stand.
How can you be in a position, a club
over there?
How can you be in a position, a club like Man City? You knew you were losing some of your key fullbacks. You had the summer to address it. They're still playing Matheus Nunes at right back, and and Nico O'Reilly at left back. He's a very good player, but he's not a left back. No. You signed that Nouri from Wolves in the summer. I mean, I'm fed up saying this. He's a good footballer going forward. He can't defend.
Well, what City have done, they've signed lots of players over the last 2 or 3 windows who haven't been as good as the ones that they replaced.
Yeah.
Substantially different, certainly in terms of De Bruyne and Reinders. But for me, they haven't addressed the Rodri situation. Rodri, to me, looks like he's really struggling to get over his injury. And they brought in Nico Gonzalez in January, hasn't done well. They were expecting Rodri to be back this season, and Rodri would have kind of locked the door in front of the defence. He's not fit, he's struggling, and that has left a real problem in the team. So I think if City can address that in the window, like I said, they like Elliot Anderson. Are they £100 million for the midfield in January? I can't see Forest selling, but if they get something like that in, and Semenyo, then that would give City a bit of a boost.
That's going to be tough, though.
Absolutely.
You're talking about a Ballon d'Or winner.
Elliot Anderson?
Yeah. I mean, Rodri's a guy that won the Ballon d'Or who gets a bad injury, and it's going to take time when he comes back. I mean, even... they've been scouting, they're looking at people, but they're never going to... You can't replace Ballon d'Or winners.
He came back in June. and they were expecting this season that he was having his kind of pre-season in June at the Club World Cup, get a couple of games under his belt, and they expected by the start of this season, or certainly by now, he'd be back playing again. Right. And he's just struggling. He's picking lots of injuries, hamstring problems. So clearly, I mean, he's had a cruciate, it's a bad injury. So he's clearly struggling to get back to anywhere near his best.
But that's a big ask for any player. I don't care how good you are, to come in and all of a sudden the back door's one player, the back line's protected. They knew the full-back position has been key for them, and key for them tactically as well, how he plays his full-backs. I mean, they're all doing it now. Most of them are copying him.
Aye.
But didn't even he say at Guardiola that, you know, if you look at Arsenal, for example, we look at their back line, yeah, their full-backs will want to get forward, but ultimately you could argue, certainly Calafiore is a centre-back. But the Timber and Calafiore, their first job and their first mindset is defending. Everything else is a bonus after that. And I think that's the right mentality to have. Guardiola seems to have the opposite, whereas he wants these attacking players and the full-back position, and it's leaving the rest of the other two centre-halves exposed. I mean, how can you be 5-1 up? I mean...